back, viewers. It's your half-assed reporter, James Kalm, and we're on the Bowery. And we're gonna run into Salon 94. We're gonna be looking at an exhibition briefly by Marina Adams titled Soft Power. And we're starting down here in the lower gallery, the atrium gallery. I have to apologize. I've been hunkered down in the studio trying to get some things done. And I was listening to the weather report, and evidently sometime tonight there's going to be the start of a blizzard that's going to shut things down for a couple of days. So normally I go out on a Thursday night and try to pop into some openings, but I realized I'll probably be snuggled up in front of the fireplace. So I decided I'd better get out today and get some stuff in the can. This piece is titled Second Sun 2016, acrylic on linen, 88 by 78 inches. Well, I think that Marilyn Minter was the last show they had here, and normally I don't come back and cover two shows in a row at a gallery. I gotta try to spread things out, but I went to an art critical panel discussion last night with David Cohen at the Brooklyn Library, and they were reviewing the show, and I saw some of the slides, and I said, darn, this is some pretty nice painting. I should go down and take a look at it. This piece is titled Alice When She's 10 Feet Tall. Now, this is one of the paintings they discussed. They actually discussed the title at this panel discussion. And John Yao, the great poet, said that he'd spoken with Marina, and this evidently was not named in relationship to Alice in Wonderland, but was named after maybe her grandmother, somebody who was married to a poet named Alice. I think what caught my eye was the fresh colors, the intense colors, and one of the things that I like is Marina is able to kind of capture a spontaneous kind of an ease. It's a combination of ease and confidence with her brushwork. And the other thing I liked is that a lot of this has kind of unexpected, maybe slightly discordant colors. Like you might look at this particular form right there and from a distance think that it's just slightly off-white, but then as you start to look at it, you think, gosh, this is actually kind of a pale, putty green. This is titled Soft Power, 88 by 78. And, well, I don't know how old Marina is, but one of the other subjects they were discussing was the, kind of the current attention that's been placed on a lot of mid-career female abstract painters. And I guess maybe Susan Freecon would be an example of someone that's kind of in that category. Maybe she's a little more mature. But Yeah, this is all good painting, and I don't know how much you have to be engaged in a community if you're dedicated and working on stuff, although if you're not part of the community, you're not going to get noticed, generally. It's titled Standing on My Head, 2016 acrylic on linen, 88 by 78 inches. And yeah, again, this is very simple. Well, I'll go up and you can see that there is there's a little bit of petimenti here, but not a lot. And very flat surface. In a lot of ways, this kind of makes me think of color field painting from the mid-60s. I think that Clement Greenberg curated a show out at the Los Angeles County Museum, one of the museums in LA, where he was presenting the color field artists as opposed to the abstract expressionists. And in a way, I think this is kind of could fit that category. We'll sweep around one final time here, and then I'm going to go up and we're going to look at some gouaches on paper. Sneak in here to the office. These are all just numbered. It's number 33. Gouache on Arches paper, 16 by 13 inches. It's number 45. But, well, you can see that the large paintings kind of capture the same kind of spontaneous, loose but confident brushwork. Also, I think that a lot of these are kind of divided into quadrants. I've got these kind of curved shapes coming in from the corners. I like this one. Yeah, that little edge of green coming in there. Yeah. Strangely, this is a very popular color this season, the faded fluorescent orange. Okay, so that was Marina Adams Soft Power here at Salon 94. Thank you. Any more galleries before the snow came, and I looked down at my rear tire and realized it was ripped, so I had to pedal over to Bicycle Habitat and buy a new tire to put on the bike. But we're gonna go in here to David Zwirner. Try to get some pictures of Aline Kominsky Crumb and our crumb drawing together. Well, it's a Saturday afternoon, and it's about an hour before closing time. I wanted to come by and see this show for weeks, and well, I was snowed in for a couple days in the studio in Brooklyn. And, well, this is a huge show, so we're only going to cover a small part of this, but we'll give you a little sampling. I think these are works by Aline Kominsky Crumb, which is Robert's wife. I think they've probably been married for, I don't know, 30 years, 25 years, something like that. And I believe that I have at least one daughter that is also a cartoonist. I'm not going to have time to go through and read all these. But obviously this would be a good way to do your afternoon reading here. You could probably spend a couple of hours reading all the text. Oh, I hate you, France. Okay. Well, I know that Aline and Robert moved to France probably, maybe early 90s, mid 90s. This is a painting from 1985. Oil on canvas. It's titled Bunch's Parents, 24 by 31 inches. It's titled Walk in the Streets. It says started 1992, finished 2004. Well, I think that Robert Hughes said in one of his reviews of Robert Crumb, this has got to be years ago, that Crumb could be the contemporary version of Bruegel. You know, the great, I think he was a Flemish or Netherlandish painter. But, yeah, I remember coming across Robert Crumb back in the early psychedelic days with Zap Comics and Felix the Cat. Okay, A Day in the Life. Aline Kominsky Crumb, I'm gonna be late. Okay. Right, and I would say that these are probably about 16 by 12, and I guess these are all done for publications. Yeah. Elena's got her own style, and I like some of the dark washes in the flat areas. Also, yeah, she's got a little different approach to her text. Oh, there's some collage. This might be the most, or one of the most interesting parts of the show. Kind of rough sketches, paintings, juvenilia, maybe even other people's work. This is 1992. Well, as I said, I started looking at Crumb's work, well, probably in the late 60s. And he was a big force with the Zap Comics, but that included a lot of other underground people. This is a piece from 1964. So you had S. Clay Wilson and, oh gosh, Victor Moscoso. And I think, oh gosh, this is great, 1962. Maybe one of the greatest documentaries ever made was a film titled Crumb. It sort of traced Robert and his two brothers' lives for, I don't know, what, 4 or 5 years? And, well, I think Crumb has also taken a certain amount of criticism for his depiction of women. I was raised to be a Christian, but somehow the devil got to me. I don't know how it happened. Lord help me. Well, like I said, this is way too big of a show to try to capture this all. I'll just kind of give you an overall hint of things. And I think Crumb was probably the most influential, perhaps the most culturally biting, kind of critical of the underground artists, and well, I'm fat. I was a big fan. I always loved his work. I followed him through, I guess there must have been 10 or 12 editions of Zap Comics. I don't know, 8 or 10. And, oh, okay, so this is Lina Bob, We Love Us. This is 1912, or 2012. So they're drawing this together. It's a nice watercolor. It's got like Sasquatch Girl. Aline and Bob. Well, I like this one. There's a lot of things that he's pasted in there, and also I guess he's using deck white or a liquid paper to white out and correct things. I'm always interested in the corrections, the erasures. Well, when they left and went to France, I think that, at least for me, they lost a lot of the bite. And, well, I guess if you're a hardcore, radical, kind of tough underground artist, that you can't keep that up forever. The complete dirty laundry comics. Well, I Just spoke with one of the ladies at the reception desk, and I asked her what the prices were, and she said, well, it varies between $7,000 and $300,000. So I don't know exactly how you would break that down, but yeah, these are not exactly selling for peanuts. I'll read a little bit from the press release. Born in Philadelphia in 1943, R. Crumb has used the popular medium of the comic book to address the absurdity of social conventions, political disillusionment, irony, radical and gender stereotypes, and sexual fantasies and fetishes. Inspired by Thomas Nash, Henri Daumier, T.S. Sullivan, James Gilway, among others, his drawings offer a satirical critique of modern consumer culture and often seem to possess an outsider's perspective, a self-conscious stance, which Crumb often relates to his personal life. Let's look at this one. Like ink and watercolor. Mostly 15 by 10 3/4. A love story, 35 years in the harness together. Okay, well, we'll look at some of the ephemera. Drunken Barrel House Blues, 09. Oh, that's cute. The whole family's there. Like the mandolin and guitars. Geez, Elaine is much prettier in real life than she is in her drawings. Oh, here's the good stuff. This is the old stuff. R. Crumb, Friday night, January 5th, 1962. Well, I don't think anyone would dispute that Robert Crumb is a masterful draftsman. With an interesting imagination. Oh. And he's still carrying on the same themes. Oh, I used to have that one. Yes, Mr. Natural, Fritz the Cat. Well, one of the things that did upset me was, I believe it was back about 2000, 2001, that Robert did a 6 or 8 page comic for, I believe it was The New Yorker, and it basically came out to be a campaign ad for Al Gore, which and was against everything I always thought Crumb was all about. I think one of the other things that kind of disappointed me about Robert was when they had the attack on Charlie Hebdo. There was a group of European cartoonists that came out and said we should all do some kind of radical critique of Islam, and just tell them that they're not going to scare us away. And unfortunately, well, Crumb did a panel, but his panel basically stated that he wasn't going to do it because he was scared to death that they would come after him and kill him. Here we go, the first Zap comic. That's amazing. Captain Piss comes. Well, so that was a brief run-through of Aline Kominsky Crumb and Robert Crumb drawing together. David Zwirner. Thank you, Kate.